and it stands for Facial Recognition Android Program for Portal Entry. Today we're going to talk about our problem statement, our solution, our system components, the difficulties included, our system benefits, our technology components, as well as software components, and our conclusion.
Okay, what we ultimately want to do is create an Android application program that recognizes your face whenever someone comes to your front door. It's going to have remote access. That way, if someone comes to your door and they need in, you can go ahead and allow them entry to your home so that they can drop anything off or let your dog out, anything that you really need to do.
So our solution is to come up with a door that has a motorized lock that can be remotely triggered from the phone. The door would have a lock that has a motor in it, and it would have a board that would receive communication from the phone after the phone has verified the user. So the phone will have to have a program that will perform facial recognition via the phone's camera. And once that is successfully determined, it would send a signal to the door. And the door could also have a camera, so that when somebody's present at the door, they could say ring the doorbell, and the camera could like face call the phone. And you could see who's at your door. You could see who's at your door, and if it's somebody you want to let in, you could access the application and unlock the door.
Just some basic system features. It'll be customizable. You can set up really anybody you want to have access to the portals or the doors or whatever. And it's remotely accessible. You can access the system from anywhere you got cell phone service. And the scalability is just, you can be as big as you want or as small as you want. You can have as many users on the system as you want. You can have as many logs, as many entries.
Some of the difficulties we expect to face, first and foremost, is figuring how to program in the Android-based languages. Another problem we're going to face is having it be secure. It's obviously going to have to be pretty secure since it's access to, say, your house. And probably the largest difficulty we're going to face is how to get the phone to communicate with the lock. We haven't really investigated the features of Android systems, but we're going to have to find a way to get the phone to communicate remotely from basically anywhere in the world to your lock at home.
Some of the things this benefits is, I don't know if anybody's like me, but I tend to lose my things quite often. So if I show up at my door and say I can't make it in because I don't have my keys or my phone, someone else can go ahead and let me in, and I'm not going to have problems getting in. The door can also recognize my face, so that's not an issue. It's very secure, like biometrics is a very high success rate. You can add multiple users, so your entire family can get let in and out. And you can have multiple Android phones connected to your home system.
So some of the components we're looking at getting right now, we haven't started building it, so this is our baseline right now, stuff we're absolutely going to need. But first off, the smartphone, obviously Android, so we can have something to put the application on. We want to be able to emulate it, but we want to actually be able to make sure that the program will be able to run on the phone, because we assume with facial recognition that there's going to be a huge memory requirement. Our plan is to only have like 1 or 2 faces on the phone at a time, but we'll have to see how it goes once we get into the memory, like how much it can hold. A mechanical lock. We've found mechanical locks that have like a car access, like a remote access you would use for your car. And we plan on putting that in a door and then breaking open the RF adapter and somehow connecting it to a board, which we've looked into some communication boards. We haven't quite figured out how we're going to do it. There's some that like accept cell phone signals, and then there's some that have Wi-Fi that can hook up to a router. We haven't decided what's going to be easiest. We imagine that's going to be the biggest problem, is trying to get a cell phone wherever it may be in the world to access either the router or the board via cell phone or Wi-Fi, whatever it is. So that's going to be the biggest problem, and then depending on how we do it, a router with internet if we decide to go Wi-Fi route. And then the phone will have to have a camera in order to see the face and take pictures and work through that. The software components is the Android application and the language associated with that. There's a lot of, we're going to have to learn not only the Android, but how to take advantage of everything that a phone has, like access the camera and get a picture, and then use that in the application to run the facial recognition software on, and stuff along that line. So there's a lot that's going to go into it, and then it has to be able to send a signal to something after it recognizes. So.
When we're finished, the portal should be able to grant access to the user based on the confirmation within the system, which would be the phone. And the system can be expanded to control other security systems, so we're hoping that it works in the end. Any questions, guys?
Questions? No questions? Okay, let's give a hand. Thank you very much.